What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to episode number 68 today of the My Player Career Mode. It's an exciting one. It's a new beginnings for Ben. He's going to join Manchester United. I apologise to the people who voted for Everton and West Ham on the poll in the last one. But as you kind of could have guessed, when I sent out that poll, I was really only expecting one winner, and that was Man United. And it won with over 85% of you people voting on that poll. So thank you for your votes. As I said earlier, apologies for the West Ham and the Everton ones not getting as many. It was to be expected, to be fair. But of course, Ben's still got a little bit left in his career. It doesn't mean he's going to be at Manchester United before he retires. We'll see what happens regarding that. But regardless, guys, we're going to jump straight into the episode today. There's 5 games for you guys to watch. A little bit more than the usual 4 or 3 that we usually go with. That is, of course, as well down to the fact that I didn't play any in the last episode, because that one was the poll one. So I feel like I owe you guys a little bit more. So, getting into it, we're going to check out the fee that Manchester United have paid for the 24-year-old attacking midfielder. It's £133 million is the fee that United have paid over to Real Madrid in order to sign the 24-year-old midfield maestro. And what it does mean is he now gets to link back up with Rafael Varane. But let me say, this Manchester United team looks so deadly. Honestly, in terms of a side, I think so far, even though Ben has played at Real Madrid, this is probably the best team he's going to be playing with. The reason I say that is you'll see in a moment, when we get to look at the full strength United team, it just looks so good. You'll see it later on. But as you can see down the squad report, they've got a load of players in the side that could do a real good job. And I mean, in real life, if you want to talk about Man United, you know, they could even have Sanchez joining their ranks in real life, which I'm a bit disappointed with, but I'm not going to go into that today. I might release another video later on in the week or something, because I want to do a Prem pep talk around Christmas time, and I forgot to do it. So I'll probably do one for like the halfway stage and talk about that during the transfer window and stuff. But let's get into today's episode. There was really only one number that I could give to Ben when he joined United, and I felt that United didn't have a number 7 when he joined the club. So there was really only one number that he could take, and that was number 7. So I could have taken 11, could have taken 10, could have taken 8, could have taken whatever number I wanted, but the problem was 11 was taken by Martial, 10 was taken by Milik, 9 was taken by Lukaku, 8 was taken by Mata, and so I thought, let's go for a number that doesn't actually have anybody wearing it at the moment. And that number was number 7. So we gave it to Ben. He's going to be United's new number 7 here in the Premier League, and hopefully he can live up to the hype of a new number 7 for Manchester United. We'll see if that's going to be the case. But unfortunately, you'll have to wait a little bit for him to make his debut for his new club, because he is playing some internationals here with England. And if you look at the table there, as it stands with the last 2 games to go, England are top in the group over Belgium. But they take on Denmark here, and then they take on Belgium straight after this. So we'll see how it's going to end up faring in that later stages of the group stage in a moment's time. So this side for England as well, it's not a bad team. They're just lacking, I would say, a little bit of defensive conviction. We'll see how it's going to pan out. But like I was saying regarding the Manchester United team, like I looked at every single position and I thought to myself, is this team arguably better than that Real Madrid side that Ben was playing in? I thought it was. In which case, does that mean that Ben can win himself another, Champions League trophy with this side? Of course, Man United are the holders at the moment, so they will want to do everything in their power in order to retain it. But as I kicked this game off here with Denmark, it was the first chance for Ben. It really wasn't going to be anything special, because it took 17 minutes to create it, and it was from the edge of the area. So, yeah, it just showed that Denmark were a little bit more conservative defensively. They haven't really got anything to play for now. We are basically out of the group. It's just deciding where we go in terms of the group winners or second place. And Denmark can't get out of the group. So for this game, it's basically kind of one of those situations where Denmark are playing for pride. We're playing for not really that much other than group winners. But either one of Belgium and England, and if they were in a group, you really couldn't call it. So I don't know who's going to come out on top. But it didn't help in the 44th minute, because Kasper Dolberg gave the Danish the lead inside the first half. It was a nice move from them, to be fair, and in the end, it was a decent finish at the near post from Kasper Dolberg. I was slightly disappointed with Jack Butland, though. I felt like he should have made the save here at his near post. He doesn't do, and Dolberg gets them off to a 1-0 lead here inside this first half. And to say that that wasn't deserved would be an understatement, because both teams were arguably very bad. But to be fair to Denmark, they created their one opportunity and took it. We didn't. So Yeah, it's going to come out in the second. You can see it trying to just work some space. Again, Ben here looking for that top corner like he did in the first half. This one is inches away from finding it. Goalkeeper rooted to the spot. Really had no idea where that one was going to go. But unfortunately for us, it just didn't nestle in that top corner. And Denmark make a change with 18 minutes to go. It's another defensive change. And it's just basically to try and shore up their 1-0 victory, which in the end they did. So a very disappointing way to kickstart the episode off with. But as I said, they're already through the group for England, so that result there won't have that bad an implication to them comparing to what it could have been if they hadn't have already been out of the group. But, I mean, if you look at the match facts, Denmark had 6 shots, 6 on target. England had 6, 2 on target. So that just shows you that they were missing that little bit of conviction they probably needed in order to get a result there. So Belgium now into that next game. They beat Ireland 4-0, which means they now top the group by a single point as we go into the final game of this group stage. It is Belgium taking on England, seeing who will come out as group winners. The winner of this will move out as group winners and arguably deserve to do so. So that is the side again going into this one. I mean, if you look at the team, in terms of the overalls, Eric Dyer, John Stones, they've got really good centre-backs. I just don't know what's wrong with them. They never seem to be able to work together in order to defend. It's a bit like Real Madrid's defending last season for Ben and Real. They never really kind of hit the mark of each other. They were a little bit hit and miss sometimes. So similar situation for England currently. But that is the table, as I said. So as you can see, there's a point separating these two guys. Harry Kane up top for England. And it's really good to see those two back in action, Ben and Harry Kane. But 18 minutes in was the first opportunity when Ben tried to squeeze it through that defender, but a great block in the area stops him in his tracks. But you can see Ben does not give this up. He keeps his chase right until the final kind of little bit of the pitch. And in the end, wins it back, puts a cross in towards the middle where Rashford is. But his header is straight at Courtois, and it really needed to be better in order to really beat him. Now into the 30th minute, and it seems like we just can't defend at the moment. Carrasco on the ball, finding Meunier on the left-hand side. Lukaku, Ben's new squad mate. And in the end, Belgium go on and take the lead inside 31 minutes. To be crediting them, it was a nice move, but to be harsh, Ben had the chance to cut the pass out. And alongside that, the defenders just never picked up their man. And in order to be the highest quality, you have to follow your runners. Now, I don't want to say there's a gulf in class between these two sides, but when I saw this game and I looked at it, Belgium are probably the better side than England. I'm not going to, kind of beat around the bush or anything. I think Belgium are probably a better side than England at this current stage in the world. In which case, it's not surprising for them to be 1-0 up, but I just feel like England have let us down, Because, again, defensively there, that's the first time they've been asked to do a little bit of defending, and they couldn't do it. Obviously, Belgium have a lot of quality, but at the same time, they just had to defend at least once. And then when Ben does that, straight as this game got underway, I was kind of left frustrated because I just feel like the gulf in class between the two sides, it felt bigger than it actually should have. As soon as Belgium took the lead, they controlled the game. They dictated the pace of the game. They were able to knock the ball around better. And in the end, they came away with a 1-0 win. So already, inside today's episode, England have played 2 games and lost them both 1-0. And just like that, they're going through as group second place runner-up rather than group winners. They've qualified for the World Cup, so it's not that bad for them. But still, I would have thought that Belgium and England would have been quite a hotly contested match. The scoreline suggests it was, but of course I didn't show you much because there wasn't many chances. But in terms of the way the game panned out, England gave away the ball far too much times comparing it to Belgium. So hopefully they can improve on that because they definitely need to do so before the World Cup gets underway. If they play like that in the World Cup, they're going to be out pretty much. So we do not want that to be a case. But finally, away from internationals, Ben's going to make his debut here for Manchester United. I did show you how United got on in the first 3 games of the season at the start of the episode while I was introducing it. So if you missed it, they ended up with 2 wins and a single draw from the 3 games that Ben missed. One of those is against City, which they won. They then drew against Brighton and then beat Spurs. So already, quite a tough kind of few games to kickstart the season off, but they've kind of done it pretty well. The only disappointing thing was the point against Brighton. So yeah, but moving into this next game, it's away at St Mary's. Ben wearing that number 7 shirt for Manchester United. And we are about to get underway for his debut. And it took him 4 minutes to get involved in the play here. Nice ball through from Martial, finding Ben. Martial through to Ben. His shot is well saved, though, by the Southampton goalkeeper. And it was just kind of showing what he's got in his locker to show the Man United fans. But then a phenomenal through ball straight to Martins here on this right-hand side. Gets past his man, whips the cross in towards the middle. There is Martial. And his header is also saved by the Southampton man. But again, Another good pass from Ben, setting Martins away. And he picks up the ball here, does his man beautifully, gets around him, has the strike in the end, which again is saved. But this time, it falls straight to Martins, who keeps his shot just low enough for it to clip the underside of the crossbar and end up dropping into the back of the net. So Ben won't get credit with the assist, but what he will get credited with is the move to open up the chance in the first place. That nice turn, the strike, it's a very, very good one-handed save actually from the Southampton goalkeeper. But unfortunately, his defenders just can't get to Martins, and he slots home to give them the lead here. So United are 1-0 in front at St Mary's and are in complete control here in this first half. And it's still not over yet as Ben picks up the ball, almost giving it away, but keeps hold of it just about. Eventually, he plays a nice 1-2 with Lukaku, gets in behind, shortly 2-0. And yes, I would say that isn't really the finish that you'd expect from £133 million worth of talent. But I can't really make up any excuses for him because he should score. 100% it should be 2-0 there, and Ben should be winning away in celebration for his first United goal. And he almost got it as well in the second half as he had an effort, seen it come back off the post. Very, very unlucky that he didn't get that goal there. And as we move into the next highlight, it's literally 5-10 minutes later. A lovely pass down the right-hand side, and you can see this is where he just loves to play. Oliver Romeo trying to get back on him, but he can't do it. Great cross. It finds its way towards the back post. Martial, and again, that post being United's kryptonite. It stops them scoring for a second time, and it is going to be the end of the game. So, even though United could have easily come away with a 2-3-0 win here, they only get the 1-0 victory. But it is 3 points, and it's a mega 3 points as well. So, it's a tough place to come, St Mary's, so to come away with a victory, it's always nice to have. And a 7.1 match rating from Ben. Doesn't get an assist or a goal for his troubles. Should have had it, but he missed an easy chance, and then, of course, hit the woodwork with his other one. But still, it's a decent way to kickstart your Manchester United career off with. He showed class, he showed what he's got in his locker, and he showed why they paid the big bucks for him. But he did have a couple of disappointing moments in there as well. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm kind of glad that Ben is back within the Premier League. It's nice to be back home, and obviously seeing those graphics as well is pretty good. So I'm excited for the season ahead. Hopefully United can be a team where he can get a few more trophies sorted. And on top of that as well, hopefully he can win another Champions League trophy in his career. Of course, something DJ Wood never did. But talking about the Champions League, now we're playing against Ajax. And I just want you guys to take a look at that United team on your screen right now. That, regarding United and barring Matic, is the strongest possible lineup that Manchester United have got in their disposal. If you put in, I think is it Zelensky or something like that, instead of Matic, every player, barring the left back, is above 85 rated. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. So, honestly, if United play with that team in the Champions League, there's every chance that they're going to win another one. And you can see Mourinho letting his boys come out here. That's the group that United have got. United, Barca, Ajax, and Galatasaray. So it's not an easy group at all to try and defend your Champions League trophy with. But regardless, they're going to hopefully get off to good ways against Ajax here. Pogba and Wood in the same midfield for the first time in a United shirt. They did play a little bit at Southampton with each other, but it was after Pogba came off the bench. So now they're going to get a full game to play in the same midfield. I'm sure a lot of you guys are waiting for that. Pogba and Ben Wood in the same midfield. And he had the first chance, did Ben, actually. But again, maybe he's lacking a little bit of confidence in front of goal. That's probably what he needs to score right now, just to get his confidence levels back up. Because again, at Real Madrid, he probably would have scored that one instead of hitting it straight against the goalkeeper. And then he whips across into his former teammate and now current one as well, Rafael Varane. Of course, he left for Real Madrid, and then so did Ben about 6 months later. So it's nice to see them back in the same kit. And he sets him up, but he can't find the target there, the French defender. So disappointing header from him. You'd expect better from one of the world's best. As we move into the second half, 46 minutes in. Again, Ben finding Martial. Back to Ben. Nice little 1-2. Gets a chance to whip a cross in. It's all the way back to Martins, who flicks it down. Eventually, it finds its way to Pogba, who you would expect to burst the net with that one. Honestly, I thought it was Man United 1, Ajax 0. And you can see from this angle behind the goal, he is inches wide from finding that top corner. That could have been 1-0, and it would have been him wheeling away in celebration. That would have been a phenomenal strike. But unfortunately, it didn't find the back of the net. And as you move into the last 5 minutes, it looked like United were going to be frustrated with today's game, because they did everything. They controlled it. They created chances. They just could not score. And even Ben couldn't. A header in the 85th minute there, straight into the hands of the goalkeeper. And after 90 minutes was played at Old Trafford for Ben on his home debut, it was a 0-0 draw. As I said, they controlled the play. They did pretty much everything they needed to do. The only thing they didn't do was put the ball in the back of the net. And that is the most frustrating bit about it, because they did everything. But as you can see in the other game in the group, Barcelona winning against Galatasaray means that they do top it right now. Real Madrid, of course, Ben's former club, beating Benfica in their first game, and also another former club of Ben, Spurs, winning their game as well. Interestingly enough, now it's time to play back some Premier League action, and it's one of the sides that Ben could have joined here on loan. West Ham United, the opponents. I'm intrigued, actually, because for some reason, Mourinho decided to go in this one with Matic and Regan Poole. I don't know why, because I would have thought that it would have been better to just go with Pogba in centre defensive midfield, but apparently Mourinho seems to want 72 rated Poole in the midfield instead. I don't know. I'm going to play it regardless and just see what happens with Ben, because he can't control the players he's playing with. But seeing that, I was slightly worried with Mourinho. I was thinking, what are you doing? Why are you making decisions like that and possibly taking a risk? But I guess we'll see how he plays here, Poole, in that midfield. The only side with a better start to Premier League life in this one than United, I'm calling it Premier League life, or Premier League starter, I guess, is Chelsea. They've won all 4 of their opening games, whereas currently United have won 3, drawing 1 of them. They even have Sam Johnstone in there as well, not even David De Gea, so I'm surprised to see it. It's a little bit of a risk here from Mourinho, but we'll see if it works out. That is the side then from West Ham. It's still a very good team, actually. You can't really take any liberties with these guys. They will create chances, and Lanzini was the first man to do so. 10 minutes in, putting a cross in towards Obiang. Obiang brings it down, finds Sarr, eventually falls back to him after 2 attempts. His effort is well saved, though, by Johnston, who couldn't actually palm it towards, I guess, the other side, and he actually puts it over the top of the crossbar. It was very, very quick, actually. He had to do what he could with that one. Luckily, he makes the save. And as they get the corner, they do eventually whip it in, as you can see from the replay. Johnston not happy with his defence there. And from the corner, Lanzini again stood over this one, finds Sarr again, and once again he's saved by Johnstone. He just can't find that breakthrough. Thought he'd scored earlier, thought he scored then, not meant to be, because Johnstone did well. And then I thought for a second a penalty was given, but luckily nothing given on that side. As we move into the first United highlight of the half, and it came from Ben, finding his teammate there, Poole. Eventually it goes to Matic, Matic to Lukaku, Lukaku to Ben, it finds its way to Martins, who's brought down in the area. And rightfully so, the referee points to the spot, and it will be a Manchester United penalty kick. I don't quite know how on earth that ball ended up finding its way to Martins, but luckily it did, and luckily it's going to be a spot kick as well. It'll be intriguing, actually, to see who's over this one, because they've got Lukaku, they've got Martial, they've got Pogba, they've got Ben now, of course. We'll see who's taking this, and it is going to be Anthony Martial, so not even Romelu Lukaku stood over this one on the 27th minute. As you can see, Ben getting ready for a possible rebound, but Martial steps up, cool as you like, sends the goalkeeper the wrong way, and slots home to give Manchester United the lead. As if there was any doubt whatsoever in the French winger. I never doubted him for a second. I'm sure none of his teammates did, as he celebrates down that end there. But to take another look at it from this angle, it's a very good penalty, as I said, right in the corner. I think even if the goalkeeper had guessed the right way, he would have probably struggled to make the save on that one. So, full credit to Martial, gives us the lead here at Old Trafford. After a very disappointing 0-0 draw last time out against Ajax, United have made the breakthrough here. So, it's decent. It's decent to see. But now we move into, as you can see, the next highlight. As soon as this one's done here, Anthony Martial running back, happy with himself as the game gets back underway. And actually, it was pretty much United controlling the play up until this stage when, again, West Ham really did threaten. Lanzini on the edge of the area gets the block, but just take a look at this. From the corner that's whipped in from Rigoni, it finds its way to the edge of the area where there is Pedro Obiang. He unleashes a rocket, which he sees come back off the crossbar, and for a second, it quite easily could have gone to 1-1. What a strike from Obiang. And I genuinely thought he'd broken the net with that one. But unfortunately for him, it came back off the crossbar. Now, moving to the second half, United started to control the play a little bit more. Lovely little turn from Ben. Looking for that bottom corner. Can't find it, though. As I said, he's lacking that little bit of confidence he needs, I think, in front of goal at the moment. When he scores his first, I'm sure it will be better for him. It's just trying to find that first goal at the moment. And then 74 minutes in, I don't quite know how on earth this happened. The ball was bouncing literally everywhere. It finds its way through to Ben, who had one thought in his mind. And he does that. I said he's lacking confidence, but you know what? I take that back, because that was a phenomenal strike. Take another look. It's on his weak foot as well. Away from goal. He's curling away from goal. I don't think the goalkeeper would have done anything in his power to save this one. He couldn't have got that any better. He found it right into the top corner of the goal, and it was inches from hitting the post and maybe coming out, but it doesn't. And with his weak foot, he has scored his first Manchester United goal. Celebrating with Lukaku there and Silva as he stood in front of the United fans, arms crossed as if to say, there you go. That's what they paid the £133 million for. And it is United 2, West Ham United 0. And after that, that was all the game had in store. So a 2-0 win to end today's episode off with. He's made his debut now for Manchester United. We'll see if it's going to be the right decision in order to join United, in order to win more trophies. But he's wearing that number 7, the historic number 7 shirt as well. And he's got his first United goal in the final game of the episode. I want to take one more look at that, though, because I have to say, it was a very, very good goal indeed. And he gets a man of the match performance as well from this game to add more to it. Match facts wise, it was fairly decent. It was fairly close. It was a good affair, this one. But, as I said, one more look at this goal, because there is a little bit of luck involved when he gets the block back to him. But there's no luck in that finish whatsoever. It's a tight angle. He just unleashes a rocket, and I don't think any goalkeeper would have been able to save that one. Phenomenal strike, phenomenal way to end the episode off. I want to thank you all for your continued support as well, guys. It's incredible to see as many of you all liking this series as you do. So I thank you from the bottom of my heart as well for all the subscriptions we've got over the past month. It's crazy to see. 18,000 people. It's crazy. So yeah, thank you for that as well. So hopefully you did enjoy today's episode. A like, rate, greatly appreciated. As always, thank you for your also, I guess, comments and everything, because even though I don't like every one of them, I still read them. So do keep leaving them, guys. It's nice to see all the nice comments and stuff. But I will catch you all again for the next episode of this series very, very soon, where hopefully we'll see Ben score more goals for his new club. See you all then. Adios.